Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor. Had to pause and think about who I was for a second. The Ram truck is done, so stay tuned for at the end of this video for a slideshow. That'll be at the end. It's already boxed up and ready to ship out. I'll be shipping that out this Saturday. It's been real hot and humid in the shop. I don't know why, but because it's not outside. Well, it's been in the 50s, so that makes sense. It's kind of cool, damp outside, so it's warm and kind of muggy in here. And it just starts sweating profusely. So I'm not going to turn on the air conditioning, and definitely not going to turn on the heat. So when it stays like this, I can't do a whole lot down here. But since yesterday and today, we have gotten some stuff done to the shop. So that's what we're going to go over real quick. I'll kind of turn you around. We'll go over it real quick. So as you can see, we got the back shelf leveled. We got the support in. It's kind of looked down in between the two bottles and that paintbrush. See that black board there? That's the center brace, just to support the shelf. I don't put a lot of heavy stuff up there, but you never know. We did block off this, so now all this is ready for paint. Well, it's got to be cleaned off, and I got to take everything off this desk, but it is ready for paint. We did get our filler piece in, fit perfect. Measure twice, cut once, guys. It's a great rule. I mean, it flows right from edge to edge. It fits, the seam fits tight, just like it should. So now all that's ready for paint. And then once we get this all painted and touched up, then I can move everything off this desk, 3D printer, so on and so forth. Then I can get that touched up back there in the front of the desk down here. And that'll finish off this whole area. My back's it gives me about 45 minutes to an hour window each day of where it's not too bad. I can kind of do some things. So tomorrow's plan is to move that cabinet over to that corner. We got to take those pictures down and scoot the display case over. Then we may have to adjust that 32 grill and all that, but we should be able to put those pictures right back up on the left side of the cabinet. This one over here, we should be able to just scoot it over to the right a little bit and not have to find new homes for everything. I do want to find new homes for the Mopar signs right there, because like I said, I am going to put a shelf in there, and one of these dioramas is going to go on that shelf, and maybe a shelf below it will be the other diorama. And then when somebody gave a great suggestion, hey, why don't you do them in sections? I think it was William. At Ruckus Rods and Customs, and it was a fantastic idea because in this little pea brain, I never put that two and two together and said, well, hey, I can do this in sections. I can get the diorama I want. I just do it in sections. So that's what we're going to do, guys. The big diorama will probably become two sections, maybe three. Don't know yet. Like I said, I got to get the base out and kind of get a feel for the size of the building I have now and how big I'm going to build the garage in the back. And I know we're only building like a quarter of the junkyard, so it's not going to take up a whole lot of space. I'd like to have about, I don't know, a foot of space, I guess, for the junkyard, because I got a little outbuilding, like the guy that owns the junkyard, he's got a little building there, and then, maybe 3 or 4 junk cars and a place to park a tow truck. And so that, it takes a little bit of space. So that may become a separate piece. But at the end of the day, we can set it all out on the diorama table and get a good look at the whole thing together. But that also gives me availability, working piece by piece. I can get one section done, put it up out of the way, and then we'll be using that shelf for that. We'll just set it up there out of the way while we're working on the other 2 sections. And then when I want to view it all together, I can put it down here on the diorama table. I can get some great pictures and a video. You guys can see the whole thing together, but it'll be stored in sections. Ghostbusters, it's going to my son, so I've already told him he's going to have to build a custom shelf, have space for it up on the wall, keep it out of the reach of kids and animals, because they are animal lovers. They have a cat and 2 dogs. So just to make sure that, nothing ever happens to it. But that'll be a one-piece diorama. The drag strip will be a one-piece diorama. So Gastronomics and the main garage part will go over there on that wall, hopefully on a shelf. I just got to make sure I have enough room to this door opens from right to left, so it'll hit the shelf and stop. So I got to be mindful of that. So I may have to put the dioramas on the left side of the TV, which is okay, because like I said, that clock and that picture is coming down. Getting rid of the picture, but I'm keeping the clock. It was my dad's, and I'll never get rid of it. So it'll go somewhere here in the shop. And then we got to rearrange some other pictures, because I got other pictures to get hung up and decorations, and that tail clip of the Stinger, I got to get my personal license plate on it and get it up on the wall someplace. So, we got, like I've said a million times, we got a lot of things to do. But I'm glad that we got the main desk done. So now I have 2 big work areas right here. If I had to, I could break this down into 3 work areas. Because you got to remember, all this stuff isn't going to be on this desk anymore. All this stuff's been compiled because it's for every workspace. And each workspace, there's going to be, Elmer's glue. There's going to be super glues. There's going to be knives, clippers. Now, other specialty tools will all be centrally located. That way I can get at them anytime I need and just put them back there. Because there'll be more room on that diorama table to store all that stuff. So, each section, like this section here, will share a set of tools. Because it's just side by side. It's a lot easier. This one that'll be created where the 3D printer station is now will have its own set of tools. Just basic tools. A few paintbrushes, clippers, files, sanding sticks, toothpicks, that kind of stuff that you use, clamps, all in little jars or containers. That way they're, kept nice and neat. And then this station over here has 2 workstations, so it'll get 1 set of stuff there. Everything else will go to the diorama table. The paint area is getting really hugely enlarged, and those 2 shelves are getting extended, so that gives more room for new models, models that we've already got. Like I said, I got 1 Mopar down here. I've got 3 or 4 Mopars up here on top of the spray booth, and there's about 6 or 8 of them behind the spray booth you can't see. I want to get them out to where I can see what I have, so I don't duplicate, because I try not to duplicate unless it's like with my Camaros. 70.5 Camaros, one of my favorite Camaros. Same with the 69s and the 68s, the first gen Camaros. I buy 2 or 3 of those each, because I see 2 or 3 different Camaros that I really, really like and I'd like to build. So that's why I buy an abundance of those. Other than that, it's 1 kit per build for what I have in my head, or I found in a magazine or online, and I have that kit sitting there just for that. But when it's back there in the corner, I forget that I have it. Out of sight, out of mind. So I need to get it over here. I should be receiving the package today from Hobby Net Models. So Friday we may break it up a little bit just for this week and do the open box review and show you my plans or ideas for it. Because again, like I said, it is something that I've not done since I was a little kid. And I mean little. 8, 9 years old was the last time I probably built one. And back then, you imagine an 8, 9-year-old turned loose with some orange Testor's tube glue. But I'm sure I was and didn't know it. And then, the little Testor's paints and just slapping crap everywhere. And then at the end of the day, when it was all done, probably a week later, I hooked it to a string line in the backyard and put a bottle rocket in it and fused the firecrackers to it on the inside, so when it fizzled out, it ignited the firecrackers and blew the plane apart. And I just gave it away right there. It is a plane, or we won't say what kind, but it's coming today. I just don't know when. It may be outside already, I don't know, but I don't have enough time today or tomorrow to do it. I have doctor's appointments tomorrow. Today I've got a few things to do where I still feel good, which concerns that I need to move some stuff and get it ready to move that. And I may accidentally get this stuff moved and the pictures down for now, and that stuff scooted over, and then try to move the cabinet over, because I got a big mess over here. The paper and receipts and everything that's fallen down in between the two, and there's diorama material in between that cabinet and these plastic drawer things, which remember are going to be incorporated all around the cabinet. So we will get, here, I'll turn it around real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Next to that drawer right there, it'll get a drawer tight in there. It will get a drawer right here. Here is the only issue, because I have these drawers for the 3D printing, so I don't need anything there. Here, I do have enough space to put a drawer underneath this. Most of the desks I only built with a back support, and then the two side supports, and this stayed off, as you can see. There's just no subframing, just the support stuff here and there. That way drawers could be incorporated down the road. But this one was my original desk right here, and I wasn't thinking ahead on this one. I didn't even think of incorporating this one in, but when I figured out the price for materials back when I wanted to add the other sections, I just didn't have the extra money to redo this desk, so it got incorporated in as it was. Now we've stripped the face off. So I got enough clearance here, so I can probably add a drawer here, which will be needed. Because in these drawers, you can see there's just tons of wires. All those wires eventually got to be stripped out. They need to be grouped in the size categories and what I can, use as far as being within scale. But keep in mind, I have larger scale too. So some of that stuff I want to keep the way it is, but it needs to be wound up, and hence the reason I said the other day these are great to keep because of the plastic thing in there. You can just put a flat sheet of styrene on there and add like a 1/2 inch lip. Just cut it out and then glue it to this, super glue it to this on both sides, drill a little hole, and you can feed your wire in it and then bind your wire around it. And it's a good way to keep your wires all separated and organized. And I've never been able to do that. Hopefully I can do what I'm talking about doing. And there's just so much crap in these drawers. I mean, I've got thin, super thin cloth to do real seat inserts, headliners, just goofy ideas I've had, but I've collected all this stuff over the years, and now it's all in drawers. Well, those drawers all the way around will still incorporate that stuff in it. Other than spooled stuff, which will be out here on spools, or a spool rack, probably, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably about like 12 different spools on each side of the diorama table, where I can just get what I need from it. And then these drawers will become empty, quite a few of them. Other stuff will go into this cabinet over there in the corner because it's not used every single day. The cabinet that's underneath my paint rack will become airbrush drawer, drawers to hold my mixing cups, pipettes, so on and so forth. And all those paints will come out of those drawers and come up here and be able to organize and be seen when I have, be able to get to it, because it is one of those things, out of sight, out of mind. You forget about them. I don't get in there and mix them like I should to keep them fresh, so they settle and they harden, and you've got ruined paint. I try not to let my paints ruin as much as possible. It happens still, but when I get into my expensive paints, I want to take care of them. And that, at least once a month, you should shake them thoroughly, stir them, make sure you're keeping them thin. If you see them starting to thicken a little bit, maybe add a little thinner to them. Thin them back out, mix them back up, and shake them, and then store them again. Just keep an eye on them. So yeah, that's that gives me, like I said, that's got to be 3 feet, a little over 3 feet of space, maybe even 4 feet that we're adding to this table over here. And I've got a couple paint shelves to put up there. We got that whole lower shelf there. It's going to get extended over, so I can get all my automotive paints on that shelf and be seen. I have the shelf above to put models on all the way over, up high and down low. So yeah, it's creating a lot of storage where I've got stuff piled up. Like I said, all the stuff down here, all my import stuff, is probably going to go on this shelf up here that we're adding. This shelf will be for dedicated builds that go in display cases, such as the Hot Wheels replica group build, and viewers choice and wife's choice each year. And that pretty much will fill that shelf up in just a matter of a few years. Well, maybe 4 years, 5 years. So we got some room to grow in that. And then I've got the ledge that goes all the way around the room, even though some of that's coming over here for the 3D printer. But I'll have pretty much from right here where my hand is on the other side of this printer all the way over will just be an open ledge, and display cases can get put up there and stacked on top of each other. I mean, you're talking probably 12 feet. So there's plenty of room. I still have room in the display case too. And the original intent for the stand-up cabinet was to take the door off and take the wood panels out and put glass panels in and make that a display case. Problem is the door doesn't seat real good because it is an antique. The dust would still get in there and get on the models. That's where that's got sliding glass and seals. It seals it up and it's pretty airtight. So I don't, and it's like I said, at the end of the day, it's an antique. It can still be stripped to get the paint off of it and restore the cabinet the way it is. And it's, probably worth $300 or $400, original condition if it was restored. Right now it's probably worth maybe $100. I don't know, but I don't want to take it apart and do something to it that it wasn't originally equipped with. But that's what when I first got it, that was the idea. I went building models at the time. I was like, hey, that'd make a good display case if I put glass in those. There's like 4 or 5 shelves in there. I could put a lot of models in there or anything I wanted to display. So I got it. It was given to me. And then we just used it for various things over the years. And finally, I was like, when I got back into models, it was out in the garage. So we're going to get that and clean it up. And I'm going to put it in my model room because I can keep like all my chemicals inside there. And it worked great for 2 or 3 years. And then we moved in here. And it's, I've been in this shop for a year now, almost a year. So yeah, it's worked out great for what it's been. And it's basically what it's going to be again, is to store overstock or bulk items, just to have a place to put them and not fill up all these tiny little drawers. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. So I hope you like it. Hit that bell notification, drop me a sub, leave your comments down below. We also, I can announce, he's not sent it yet. If you remember, Chris Bizzle, he sent the Lowrider golf cart. He's sending a full kit. It's the files. I'm going to have to print it out. I'm not going to release what it is yet because I want to get it printed, and then we'll review it, and then we're going to build it. And each video that way, and then I'll upload to both Instagram and here on YouTube, so everybody gets a chance to see it. It is being sold as a kit. Price I don't know. I can't say it's going to be sold as a kit. He uploads his stuff into Colts. So you can, if you're a 3D printer, you can go get it and print it. Or if you know somebody that 3D prints, you can, get the file and send the file to him and have them print it for you, whatever. But it's a way to get it's a really neat kit, and it's modern, today's type vehicle. And I like to build these from time to time. So yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to give it a full build with what it comes with. We're not going to add extra stuff because it really doesn't need it. It's got it all that's with it. So hopefully we'll get that printed, and then we can review it, and we'll start a build series on it, just like we did with the 69 Charger for Jay back 3 or 4 or 5 months ago. It'll be a build series on that. As I get this section done, we'll review it and how I did it and what you got to do and so on and so forth. It's going to be great. And I'm glad he's collaborating with us from time to time. It brings new things to the channel, and just a different spin on what I normally do. Because if it was left up to me, I would be building Pro Touring, Pro Mod, Pro Street, Pro Stock, and primarily it, with an occasional box stock just to break up the monotony. And that's all I'd ever do. Because I get in my room and I really don't come outside of my comfort zone too much. But with being on YouTube, and I hear, all these great comments, and I see guys just mixing it up, and it's like, wow, that'd be a lot of fun. So hence here we are this year. We're mixing it up. Got an airplane, don't know what kind. We got a new kit coming that is a 3D printed kit. I don't want to say what it is until I get it printed out and it's good to go. We also have the new sponsor from Poland. Is sending a lot of their stuff they have now. And I know if you get on their website, it's hard to, all you got to do is just go to the crossover thing the converter that converts Polish money into, American money, and you can see the prices are very similar. They're not. It's the shipping that's going to be expensive, and I've said that right out of the gate. So I know not everybody's going to be flocking to, this new sponsor and buying stuff right away. The key is to get the feel of it out here. You guys get to see the quality of the product first and foremost. Get to see me put it into use, how well it goes together. How, if I got to struggle or just like throwing it in a box and shaking it up. We get to see all this stuff first before you spend your money on it. Then we got to try to get him connected with a U.S. vendor, whether it be Market Hobby Nut or anybody that'd be interested in it. That way we have an availability of getting it from here in the U.S. That's the next step. We got to start off walking before we can run. So it's a new thing. It's new products. It's a new kind of genre for this channel. So just bear with me with it. Don't get all flustered and excited about not being understanding what the prices are. And a lot of you guys aren't going to use the parts. I get it, but a lot of you will. And I'm hoping that it brings in more subscribers of ages that are into that, because there is a lot of people that are into that genre. So, I'm not trying to please one certain group, trying to please everybody with a bunch of different things. So just bear with me. All right, so we're about 5 minutes over. It's going to happen. We're going to call it quits here. Thank you to all my past, present, and future subscribers. Remember, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you nothing. Hit that bell notification. Go back and watch some of my older videos. You'll see how the shop started, my very first video, to where it is now, what my plans are. Some plans have changed a little bit, but we're headed back in the right direction. Come along for the ride. Comments, positive comments down below. My email's always down there. You can contact me. You agree with something, you want to elaborate on it, just a personal comment, whatever, that you don't feel comfortable leaving in the comments, my email's always down there. Shop cards, they're still available. Now, when I run out, they will be unavailable for quite a while, because my niece designs them for me, and I really like it that she does it. I know there's a lot of other companies out there, but we're going to revamp it and rework it, and then we'll get new cards out, and we'll try to flood the market, so to speak, and get everybody a new card, and then they'll be available again too. But they are available. You just got to email me. What else? Friday will be what's on the bench. Primarily it'll be, like I said, the open box review, ideas, and anything else I get done to the shop, we'll kind of just touch base real quick. But normally on a Friday, it'll just be what's on the bench, update on what I'm working on, where I'm at with it. A quick, simple video. So we're out of here, guys. Thank you again from my bottom of my heart. Couldn't have done this without all of y'all. We'll see you on Friday. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.